Well, hello there. This is Mike Graham from Integral Marketing, bringing you affiliate tips educating beginners and intermediates. And I just want to talk a bit more about starting up a business and what you're going to need. But today I'm going to concentrate more on what you need mentally, because a lot of this business, as with most walks of life, is played out between one side of your head and another, i.e., what you've got inside. It's done in the brain. And how you train your mind to continue working against adversity really counts for quite a lot, particularly in the early days. The first thing I think you're going to need is stamina. A lot of it. And you're going to be able to need to get past the hard times, because they're going to come. The times when you really just don't succeed, and you don't succeed, and you don't succeed, and you don't succeed. And you continue doing it. And that is what is going to mark you out in the end. Did you stay true to the cause? Even though nothing was happening, you weren't seeming to get anywhere. And yeah, sure, you can look at your methods, revise your methods, and make changes. But as most marketers will tell you, it's being consistent and persistent that really count. And having those attributes and a lot of stamina really count for everything in this game. Yeah, what you put together, your know-how, you'll know what, they're all very, very important, and an ability to learn fairly rapidly how to do things as well as what to do are essential. Having a good mind that can absorb things, particularly about marketing, is also a good idea. But above all else, it's about what you bring as a personality to the table and how strong your desire is. It's not for men of straw, really, because this business is going to knock you down 100 times over, and you have to have an ability to get up again and continue as though nothing really happened, but you learned from your mistakes. That's another aspect of how your personality has to blend. You have to be able to learn from your mistakes as well as work them out half the time, because if you don't have anybody else there to tell you what you've done wrong, then you're going to have to deduce it for yourself, which is why a lot of people get mentors, because in the end that's what shows them the way. Having somebody who's older, who's been there, actually telling you, well, no, this is the way to do it, not the way you've done it. But most of the time you're going to be on your own, so you have to have a lot of inner resources and resourcefulness, and just the temperament to keep going, because you are going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, and sometimes you think you've cracked it, other times you'll think you haven't, and in the end there's just a line going through the middle which really tells you where you are. And that's it in the main. I don't want to sound deeply depressing or anything, but it can take a very long time. It's taken me a long time. It can take others a long time. Some people obviously hit lucky fairly early on in the piece, or they've had a particular tip shown to them. But in the main, whatever the instructions you get, and the instructions don't really vary very much, it's actually just about being consistent and persistent, turning out content, making sure that you're true to your principles of doing it the best you can, and you can only ever do the best you can. And considering how much more you can do if you need to do more, but just continuing with your effort every day, every day, every day. It's that ability to sit down day after day, even though you haven't cracked it, even though you're not a success. I guess that marks out the winners from the losers. Why do I do it? Well, apart from, the fact I actually wish for certain things to happen in my life, to have a certain lifestyle, I find it quite easy in many ways to sit down day after day, but I don't always know what to do when I'm sitting at the computer. I do have to confess. And sometimes I get lost. I look out of the window. I look on Facebook quite a lot. Or just feel bored. I just think I can't listen to another webinar or another piece of education. But that's when you have to put out content. And as some people would say, it's actually when you stop trying to educate yourself and start trying to educate others that the change happens. Because there's only a certain amount of content you can take in. And I've suffered from webinar fatigue an awful lot in recent times, where I'm just listening and it's just going over the top of my head. And I guess that sort of signifies, saturation point, or just don't hit me anymore with this stuff. But I'm quite happy reconstituting what I know and putting it out as content. And it's the ability to put out content that makes sense, that is manageable for others, that I think is sort of the ultimate guide to how you're going to do. But above all, having enough stamina, being persistent, consistent, and just being bloody minded and saying, well, I'm going to do this because I have to, or I really want to. And some people say that it's your why that'll take you through if your why is strong enough, by which I mean your goals, your dreams, your vision. If they're strong enough, you'll make it. To be honest, amongst other things, I wish to spend winters abroad. I cannot stand this country when it's really cold. And it's starting to get cold now. And I'm thinking, well, wouldn't it be nice to go off somewhere? Well, this year I probably can't. Well, not at this stage anyway, but, hopefully soon in the future. But if you're thinking of doing this entrepreneurial thing, or you're doing it and you're flagging, then don't. Just keep on, keep on, keep on. And you'll find bits where your load is lighter, bits where it's heavier, but you have to have the stamina to follow through and the sheer bloody mindedness to succeed at it against all odds. So good luck with that, and if you like this video, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel if you wish to hear any more, and I'll hopefully see you on the next one. Keep on trucking.